Hi, I will be talking to you guys about nonviolent crimes in California, specifically on Proposition 57. I will be discussing the importance of Proposition 57 and what changes should be made on the prop, and also why it should be reconsidered as a proposition altogether. So let's get started. So first of all, what is Proposition 57? I'm going to read you guys the technical term for it. So under the terms of Proposition 57, California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation must allow for defendants convicted of certain nonviolent crimes to be considered for parole upon completing their sentence for the primary offense. So what that means altogether is that anybody who makes a nonviolent crime or commits a nonviolent crime, when they get to their court, they can be considered for parole depending on what crime they committed. This also could lessen their sentence and would influence how the courts would view and where the convicted would be sentenced to, basically. So the harm in this proposition is actually very serious. There's a long list of nonviolent crimes that are listed in Proposition 57, and there are three that really stood out to me. So three of them were domestic violence, forms of domestic violence, assault, including non-consensual intercourse, and different forms of murder. These are very, very serious crimes, and since they fall underneath this proposition, it's very interesting to see how this is considered a nonviolent crime. Not only that, but it's also very disrespectful in a way to have these crimes in such a nonviolent manner, or seen as a nonviolent manner. It's very disrespectful to families who have been through these certain crimes or have been affected by these crimes, especially victims of sexual assault and domestic violence, and having their family member lost to somebody who was killed. It's also very dangerous for citizens, because if they get parole, they could also be let go and they could be freed. And if their sentence is lessened, they could get out quicker. So that would be more dangerous for people if there was a criminal just walking around. Excuse me. I'm sorry. In the presidential election of 2016, there was a ballot that was actually put out for this proposition, and it was passed in 2016. And it was passed because of the strictness on the inmates, and the strictness was made, and it was made too harshly. And it was also said that there was a lot of influence of money, and because there was too much money on the tax reviews, that it was just seen as too much of a hassle to have more inmates in jail than there was needed to be. It's something that we can do to get this proposition changed or even removed is petitioning. Petitioning can be a way for people to come together and be able to be more influential, and to come together as a community and really focus on something that is more important. And it's also a way to get voters more involved. In 2016, the presidential election on November 8th, there was a lot more voting going on because it was such a big election, because it was Hillary Clinton against Donald Trump. And on that day, according to ballotpedia.org, which is a site where you can actually see the propositions, there was 64% voters that voted yes on Proposition 57, and 35% voters voted no. So those are kind of close in number. So it could be changed if there was another recall on this proposition. And also, it is good to educate ourselves on the propositions as well, especially this one, since it's so serious, and it should be taken seriously because these are very serious matters that have happened in this. In conclusion, proposition was basically made for the convicted, and it should be more for the people, and people should be more educated on what they vote for and what proposition they want. And it should also be taken more seriously, and we should also reevaluate which crimes are nonviolent and which ones are more serious. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys found this very interesting. I know I did, and I hope you guys have a good day.